What's going on, everybody? I'm Max Kellerman. Welcome to this Just In, a fast hour around the world of sports and how I see it. And we start with Game 4 in San Francisco. Ja Morant injured his knee in the Grizzlies' Game 3 loss to Golden State. Memphis believes the injury was caused by this play, in which Jordan Poole grabbed Ja's knee while going for the basketball in the fourth quarter. I am joined now live from the Chase Center by our very own Om Young-Misuk covering the Grizzlies. Om, what's the latest on Ja's injury status tonight, or his status, whether or not he can play?
Well, Max, the Grizzlies are going to shoot around in about an hour from now, and we'll have availability after that. But I would suspect that Ja Morant is going to remain doubtful for tonight, which is what he's listed on the last injury report. The Grizzlies have experience playing without Ja. They went 20-5 this season without him when he was injured. That's actually tied for the best winning percentage with three other teams when they lose a star who's averaged 25 points or more. But they didn't play the Golden State Warriors in those 25 games. And so in this series, when Ja has not been on the floor, they've been outscored by 32 points in 29 minutes without Ja. So this is going to be rough sledding for the Grizzlies tonight if Ja Morant can't go, as Taylor Jenkins says is expected.
On the other hand, there's a big difference between knowing your guy can't go and then trying to play when he's not on the floor in a game in which he can go. It seems a little bit like the Luka Doncic thing, right, where his teammates are more easily able to step up in his absence when he's not going to be there than kind of watching him do his thing sometimes. So if he's not able to play, what lineup changes can we expect?
Well, great point there, Max. I would say, number one, they're going to get Dillon Brooks tonight. Now, Dillon Brooks has been a non-factor. I know you're going to tell me he couldn't make a shot in Game 1, and he even missed 3 shots before he was actually ejected in the first 3 minutes of Game 2. But he's going to be relied on for scoring and defense tonight. Tyus Jones would be the candidate to start in place of Ja Morant if Ja Morant can't go. And then I would say, look, Desmond Bane. He has been slowed down by a back injury this entire series. He has 30 points in the entire series. He scored 34 in Game 4 alone at Minnesota, against Minnesota in the first round. So they need Desmond Bane to overcome that back injury, and perhaps maybe Steven Adams. Maybe we see Steven Adams dust it off. I know he's not a great offensive player, but the Grizzlies are going to need to grind this one out. They're going to have to muck things up and make this a dirty game, basically. It's going to have to be a sloppy, grindy game for the Grizzlies to win this one. So perhaps a guy like Steven Adams, who has their most playoff experience on Memphis's roster, could play a factor tonight.
You know, I was just thinking, that's just what this series is missing, some dirty plays and a little more chippiness. Thank you, Om. Former NBA and current TV sharpshooter J.J. Redick with me. JJ, we're just talking about it. We've seen flagrant twos, even a suspension in this series. What about this play on Ja? Should anything happen right here? Where's the play? We're playing this play somewhere at some point. Here it comes. Ready? In a matter of moments. There it is.
No, I think the NBA made the right call by not having any disciplinary action against Jordan Poole. This looks to me like a basketball play. They're double teaming and the ball's loose. He's reaching in, trying to create havoc with his arms. Unfortunately, his wingspan just quite isn't there. This is a very different play than what happened with Dillon Brooks, and it's a different play than what happened with Draymond in Game 1. This was not a dirty play. Ja Morant missed 9 games earlier in the season because of right knee soreness. There's video of him hitting Klay Thompson with his right knee earlier in the game. Like, there are other things that happened. And I don't know if that play specifically led to whatever injury that he has currently, but that's not a dirty play.
I get it. When I first saw it, no. Then one of the replays, you see him just pull on the knee a little bit. And I was thinking, if I'm Ja, and I missed 9 games because of right knee soreness, and now I'm out of a playoff game, I might complain, but then again, I don't have to lead a team in the playoffs. He does. What kind of a look do you think it is for him to be kind of whining about something that really wasn't a dirty play?
I think a lot of this is just the nature of this series because it started in Game 1 with Draymond, and then there's the horrific play in Game 2 where Gary Payton has a serious injury.
Out for a month.
Right, and now there's this, and obviously Ja's frustrated because he had a great game and they get blown out, and he tweaked his knee. So I think it's more the nature of this series than it is them just being a bunch of whiners.
So who? Right, I don't think they are a bunch of whiners.
Because it's not just Ja.
No, I get
Taylor
it.
Jenkins,
but the standards for a guy who could very soon be the #1 player in the game, the face of the league, are different than for a normal player.
He's an active Twitter guy.
Yeah,
he's always on Twitter. He's always tweeting things after games. This is in character for him.
Let me ask you the stupid TV, pundit question that the smart basketball guy. Well, it's not just one guy, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Who needs to step up in his absence?
Hit it on the head, and that's Desmond Bane. When Ja was out for those 25 games in the regular season, Desmond Bane's production went up. He was great in the first round against the Timberwolves, and some of it, of course, is the back injury, which he's been dealing with it for a while, but Steph Curry has been his primary defender most of this series. Jordan Poole has also guarded him quite a bit. They've just had a tremendous awareness. They've been physical. They've ran him off shots, and he hasn't really been able to get going in any game.
JJ, James Harden did his thing.
He
did his thing.
Yeah.
But is that thing sustainable? Like, can he do that again, or were the shots falling?
Yes, he can do it again, but I think the context, and I keep saying this again and again, we need to look at James for who he is now and not who he was in Houston. And he's a fantastic basketball player. In these playoffs, he's averaging 20 points a game, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 59% true shooting because he can get to the free throw line and shoot a high percentage there. So he's still doing a lot of great things. But this is his first game, in 16 games where he scores over 25. It's only his second game scoring 30 or more in a Sixers uniform. And it was the most step-back threes. And that, to me, was really what unlocked this big game. He had 4 step-back threes in Game 4. That's the shot he just hasn't been making when he's been in a Sixers uniform.
Getting maybe a little more separation. The thing that I noticed was some beautiful passing, like getting the ball to guys in rhythm, where it just feels like, they're going to hit that shot. And finishing strong in the paint, right? Like, not just looking for contact and looking for a whistle, because sometimes he didn't get the whistle, but it went in because he was looking to finish, right? I mean, that's sustainable.
I called Game 3 in Philly on Friday night, and one of the things I made a comment on in that game was the decisiveness when he tried to attack. And James is very much one of those players, a la Luka Doncic, who probes. He probes and he probes, and he uses his dribble to get you off balance, and then he attacks. But there were moments in Game 3, and there are definitely moments in Game 4 as well, where he made catch-and-shoot threes. Quick decision. He caught the ball and ripped through and went and attacked the basket and scored. And that, to me, is when James is at his best.
Did Nikola Jokic deserve the MVP over your best friend, Joel Embiid? And Giannis, not to mention Giannis.
Oh, man. Yes, I think the voters got this right. I will say, whether it was Giannis, Joel, or Jokic, they were all deserving. Hold on. And in a normal year, Max, you could make a very strong case for Devin Booker as well. But to me, the best player, the most valuable player in the NBA this season, given what he had to work with and what they actually accomplished as a team and what he did individually, it was Nikola Jokic.
Joel's going to revoke your invite now or to whatever event he's having, right? Jokic?
I try to be unbiased, Max. Yes, I have a lot of friends in the NBA.
Okay, so
yes.
Here's the next question.
I do not know Jokic.
Do you think that in your attempt to be unbiased, this sometimes happens to me talking about fighters who I just like, right? That you go too far in the other direction? Yes. What do you think? Do you think that's possible?
No, I don't. I had to give a take this morning. We were talking about the 76ers Miami series. I've been saying Miami's going to beat the 76ers since the playoff brackets came out the day after the regular season. I think
Houdini had a line about friends like you.
No, yes. But listen, and I obviously have friends on Miami. I have friends on Philly, but I do think going forward, Philly's going to win that series. And I don't know if it'll go 6. I don't know if it'll go 7. But I do think Philly has the upper hand right now.
Yeah, the Heat. The Heat is on the Heat in Game 5 because it's been hold serve at home so far. Don't lose that home court. Week 2 of Monday Night Football will feature a doubleheader.